Okay, what's coming to me today to share is the 80-20 rule. Now, that means 20% of the people actually produce 80% of the results that go on in the world. It started way back in the 1800s with Pareto Principle that the seeds, 20% of the seeds produced 80% of the harvest. It was well known, and when I was selling at Kodak, 20% of the sales team produced 80% of the results. 20% of your life probably is happening right now. There's a whole 100% out there. There's a whole world of infinite possibilities, and your habits are probably only allowing you to experience 20% of that. If you happen to be the 20% that are experiencing the 80%, then you're stepping into new possibilities all the time. You're saying yes when other people are saying no. You're acting differently than the herd, because the herd is the 80%. The herd are the ones that have been conditioned to follow. The 20% are the ones that go, I got another idea. Why don't we do it differently? They're going to maybe work harder. They're maybe going to be more motivated. They're going to be more creative. They're going to stand up for freedom. They're going to see things in ways that you never saw before. They're the leaders. Yet right now, most people that are in that 20% that have a different experience other than the herd that is throughout every system, our education, our medical system, our judicial system, our police system, our government system. If you're honest with yourself, we've grouped these people together as 80%. You know, they're a herd, they're an organization. You hear people talk about teachers, police officers. You very seldom hear people talk about an individual. So as we give permission for that individual to come out of the herd, there will be 20% in each of those areas that will be guided by their moral compass. And even though the herd has been existing in a set of beliefs, consensus reality means pretty much everybody's agreed on this is reality. What some of you are seeing right now is it's like complete opposite. You know, people are disagreeing and fighting and struggling because they're saying, don't you get it? And they're saying, don't you get it? And each one has their own set of evidence. Each one is so sure they're right. And I'm just going to suggest that we can learn from each side, that there are gems in each side, because what's going on is the herd is breaking apart. This 80-20 rule is going to be decimated. I hope it happens before 80% completely disappear. I see it as they disappear in that presence of what they are in the system, in the consensus reality, in the caterpillar world, and move to the butterfly world. So the 20% that have already crossed that transformational bridge, that one up there, the chrysalis transformational bridge, the 20% that have been leading and doing things differently for generations, for decades. They might have been the black sheep, they might have been the rebel, they might have been the misfit, they may have been the introvert, they may have done it differently, they may have been a leader extraordinaire. When one can stand on their own and have a dream and have a vision and be completely aligned to be able to be that without worrying about what the 80% says, that's full power. That's source consciousness working through you. And if you can overcome your fear, that herd fear, and trust that you're being guided to leave that all behind, and that's where freedom comes from, that's a whole new world for you. That's your best whole new world. That's where your heart's desires show up. And for me, that's all this is about. So you can make it about whatever you want to make it about, because that's your reality at the moment. That's your perception and your experience. If you can look around and know, who are you identifying with? Are you identifying with the 80% or the 20%? Is your life really about being different, or is your life really about being the same? So social media has helped train us to say that we can each have our own Facebook page or YouTube channel or whatever. We can each post what we want and we each have our message. And now we're going to embark on that. So every little person, can have their own little world. Because that's really what's going on. It's just most people are asleep to the fact that they're actually creating this experience. So when you can wake up like the 20%, in that sense of consciously know that you are the center of your universe, that this hierarchical triangle is flattening out so you are the center of the circle. And this circle is expanding out however much you want to, so you're experiencing more than just 20% of your experience, 20% of the apps on your phone, 20% of the habits that you have. You're starting to let go of that and step out and experience 80% of the world that you never even knew existed, that you don't even know that you don't even know. How do you get there? You trust your inner guidance. If you are still having issues trusting your inner guidance, grab a copy of my book, Trusting Your Intuition, Discover Your Superpower in 10 Days. Do the tune-in, do the questions, learn about yourself, take this time, because that's your superpower. And when you have this superpower, it's irrelevant what anybody else is telling you is going on, because you know. It's like I saw this little YouTube today about someone trying to tell an African chief back in 1947 that putting DDT on their, on their farm would help malaria. And the chief was like, no, that's a poison. You'll kill us all. Now, the chief didn't have any education, right? And that's part of the perception that we have, this idea that somebody knows more and someone else just feels like, no. And when you know that in yourself, it's irrelevant when anybody else is going to tell you, because then you're acting like that 20%. You're acting like, no, I know what's right for me. And whatever is right for you is right for you, because that's what you're guided to do. And when we can trust and believe that everybody's doing what they need to do in this great big whole, because we're all in this together, then it's harmony. And we are breakdown to breakthrough. So 80-20 rule. 20% of the people are leading the way. 20% of the people are going where you've never gone before. 20% of the people are the so-called outsiders. You might have, doing things differently, and they usually lead to innovations. Einstein was one of those. Mozart, Shakespeare, they were the 20%. The ones that we study are the 20%. Do you want the 20% to rule the world? No, you want to be the one that rules your own world. Well, maybe you don't. Actually, I heard that from somebody last night. I couldn't believe it either. That they were saying, I'm happy just being, if that's what it is, just having a job or just getting paid, letting me watch TV, play on the computer, and that's what they call slavery. I'm good with that. And that's okay, because that's that person's choice. It's difficult for many others to believe. They go like, why? Wouldn't you want complete freedom? But glorified slavery is a good deal too. So again, it's about perception. And I have had many different perceptions over my life and my time. And it's like when I rubbed the sleep out of my eyes and I realized that health was natural, I didn't have to be on drugs. It took a while. Mind, body, medicine, then I can just recharge. That's awesome. Realizing moving from being in a corporate environment to self-employed, trusting the abundance of the universe, a whole different space. Coming online, totally different, right? Recognizing that you can have anything that you really need because it just comes to you is a new experience. Step into it. Try it on today. See how it works. 80-20 rule. See where it leads you. And again, if you need help trusting, begin the journey. Lots of love. You deserve your best whole new world.